apparently it's a foreign aid. So we can track foreign investment, and we can make, for example, the local police aware that the computers are being stolen. However, with corruption and everything, it may be the police that are stealing it, perhaps. So we're not going live, are we? Are we live?
Yes, we are live.
Okay, so I readjust my comments there and saying, of course, the police wouldn't be stealing it. We would make the police alert, aware that that they should go and have a look. Anyway, so quality machines, access to information, computer associates, remotely managed systems. Then I moved to Vienna 21 years ago and took a job with Computer Associates as education manager for Austria and Eastern Europe, looking at customer education, training people. Then later on, I got involved with, so that's IT training of customers with Computer Associates software, and then later became an English trainer, spent 6 years doing English training for kids and business people in Vienna. And I have also offered German lessons at a very basic level, on the basis that you don't need to be brilliant to give basic guidance. And therefore I have studied, I've also got 2 children. I have a 21-year-old son.
Wow.
Whom I taught English. I focus very strongly on teaching English in a German-speaking world, and I now have a daughter who is 2 1/4, and I'm going through the same process again of focusing on her English in a German-speaking, because I think one of my greatest gifts to my children is native English speaking. And my mother worked very hard with me, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm a very unique individual, and I'm one of 8 billion very unique individuals around the world. What I'm focusing on is optimization. I'm focusing on optimization of people, on optimization of places, and optimization of projects. I'm interested in people realizing their fuller potential. I'm interested in places being used. If they're empty cafes at the moment, then they could be used for classrooms. If we can't go into cafes, maybe we can do on-street education by hanging learning sheets in the windows of empty cafes, where people can go around and they can read them on the street in a much bigger classroom, because the world becomes a classroom. And interested
it's so nice pleasure to be talking with you. As we have just come to the new screen, and we have a few audience as well, and they are going to see us as well. So guys, we were actually on the Rehan Allahwala page, and we were discussing about the post-COVID effects and unemployment thing, a homeless people thing. So we were discussing about that, and now Rehan Bhai is not. He was really tired and he went back to sleep. So we came to this page, and we have Nijan and we have Jawad Abdul Mateen. So, Mr. Jawad, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, Mr. Jawad, would you like to
can you hear me, please?
introduce yourself to our audience?
Okay, my name is Jawad Abdul Mateen, and I'm from the city of Rawalpindi in Pakistan. And I'm teaching online from last 11 years.
Great.
Awesome.
So
yes, and I've conducted a global research on spoken English, like to solve the problem of spoken English for non-native speakers, basically.
Right. So Nigel, am I correct?
Nigel.
Your name correct?
Nigel.
Nigel. Okay,
yes.
Sorry about that.
Fabulous.
Nigel, as we were just as we discussed about our topic, the post-COVID-19 situation, what's your comments on it?
Okay. I discovered yesterday that there are 22 million unemployed Americans as of increased in the last month. I was in a call last night about how to the world we'd like to see after this situation. This morning I got up and said, if this situation never ends, how would we like to see the world? Yeah. How could we redeploy those 22 million people overnight, like today,
Mm-hmm.
in new jobs, in the new working world,
Yep.
in a job that pays them twice as much as they got paid before,
Right.
and that they are actually happy doing, because 57% of people are unhappy with what they're doing. Rehan mentioned earlier on that, well, in America, because I got in touch with Rehan today because I saw he was doing a talk with Carla about training people to become virtual assistants.
Yep.
So I said, maybe we can train 20% of those 22 million people to become virtual assistants. He said, well, they need to have 3,000 euros a month in the States in order to live. Well, of course, that's yesterday's world, because at the moment they don't have $3,000 a month and they're still living. So the world as we knew it has stopped.
Yes.
What do we want next? Back at the end of 2011, I created a game for kids or for people saying, imagine the world you'd like tomorrow at the beginning of 2012, but imagine it in 3,000 years' time in 5012. So anything that you know now, forget. You can have anything you want in 3,000 years' time. So change the base. I am arguing again. I'm not arguing for system change, because I think we need to forget system. Yeah. If we just change one system for another, we haven't changed the baseline.
Definitely.
Political reform, we need to throw politics out because it's not working for the world we know. It was created 100 years ago, like education was. It was a good thing. Kids don't get an education. Let's take them off the street and put them in schools. Now, yesterday, I saw a comment that said, kids might not want to go back to school now. So then we've got the problem in the Western world of kids have had time off, they've been at home, and now you're trying to get them back into a system that they don't like.
It's just like when they were the first time they were going to the pre-K groups, and they were just creating a lot of things. And now when they're gonna go back, they will do the same thing.
Hopefully, yeah. Or looking at me. So I have a very good friend. She's 9, and she's half Finnish and half British, and she's in Finland. She would like to talk in a group like this to kids her age about COVID, how they're coping.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a group in South Africa where they had some kids and parents talking together, which gave me an inspirational idea. And she watched it, but she said it wasn't very exciting, so it's not what she'd like to do. What could we create for her where she can coach other people and learn and be excited in a group like this, but that group carries on after we go back to whatever we go back to, and it adds value to the new world. And one of those things is, if we connect her across continents with other kids, that they can form a small team, a small group. This is based on 20 years of thinking.
Right.
Have you heard of third culture kids?
No, not yet.
Third culture kids typically comes from American army kids or embassy kids, where they grow up outside of their home culture.
Okay.
My feet are firmly on the ground in Vienna, but a lot of my world is in the virtual world. And I'm looking to create a home for people, especially started with third culture kids, a home in the ether where they can move from a group of people where they are locally to anywhere in the world. They can relocate, but immediately feel at home and integrated, because they have a local language where they can communicate with local people. And they have a group in the ether that supports them, like we're building now. We're building support groups in the ether, which I've been having for 21 years since I moved to Vienna and before. English is a common theme.
Definitely.
how could we redeploy those 22 million people? We could potentially train them to become English conversation partners for people who are learning English in another country or locally, because there are Mexican migrants, Latin American migrants in America, and obviously yourself. I don't know how long you've been there. How long have you been there?
7 years.
Okay. And Rehan said something about there's English and some people's English he can't listen to because the accents are so strong. So there's a lot of work on the fine tuning of accents is also very important. So I have an intention in Austria.
Okay.
Which is expanded now.
Right.
With these 22 million people. My intention in Austria is to take 380,000 people off of the unemployment register. This was 3 months ago. Okay. Redeploy them, the migrant half as coaches, cultural coaches for the Austrians.
Right.
And the Austrians as native speaking partners for the migrants who are learning German.
Okay.
How could this work? Facilitated groups like this, those 22 million people, a percentage of them, and I just sidestep. I studied economics. I have studied happiness since 2006 proactively. I wrote a small economics paper called revising Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Basically, I upended the pyramid of needs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I turned it over, and I've just revised that today with learning. Typically, we have a teacher with 12 students.
Wow.
What if, let's say, I mean, it's 30 or it's 1 or whatever, but typically, let's say, 1 teacher, 12 students. What if we had 12 teachers for 1 student?
12 teachers for 1 student?
So what if you were learning English,
Mm-hmm.
and the class that you went to tomorrow for 3 hours,
right,
was you with 12 native speakers focused on coaching your language? And we have that because we have the 22 million people in America,
mm-hmm.
and we have the 180,000 people in Austria that I just mentioned learning English.
Right.
So now the question then is how to motivate some of those 22 million to spend 3 hours tomorrow in a room like this with 1 Austrian person. Here's the answer. Make sure it's a really interesting Austrian person who can add value to those 12 people's lives through practicing their English as a second language.
By motivating their native speakers.
So take Mario
mm-hmm.
as an example. My friend Mario. This is cool. He's actually, I'm not sure if he's Austrian, but he's from southeastern Europe.
Okay.
But I think he speaks German, but he speaks English.
All right.
He speaks English 95%.
Okay.
He's selling sales training. So if he did a sales pitch in English with
mm-hmm.
12 people who are sales trainees, so of those 22 million, they are interested in retraining in sales.
Right.
He, as well as Johannes, as well as Dieter. So I find 3 people here prepared to give 1 hour each tomorrow, today,
sure.
yesterday. And you find 12 people in New York who are bored, who are looking to retrain and are interested in hearing this, in joining this talk, because it's a talk from Austrian professionals about what they do to American professionals looking to learn something new. Thank you. That's brilliant.
Excellent. So right now, as I am, are you done with it?
Sorry. So who was it that studied, I think Javad studied learning a language, having taught my 2 children English and watched the mother of my daughter, who is half Greek, half Austrian.
Right.
She is teaching our daughter English as well, more than German. You don't learn, you don't teach a kid English, you just speak with them. You just repeat everything, you tell them what everything is. And this is the difference between learning as a child and teaching people grammar translation method.
Right. So that's what we are going to do right now. As we
learn by doing. We learn by doing.
Yes, learn by doing.
Sorry. Final point. My son, I'm not sure if you heard this, my son moved to France at the age of 14 without speaking a word of French.
All right.
He spoke English and German.
Okay.
6 years later, he's in the 2nd year studying physics in university in Lausanne in Switzerland in French. So in 6 years, he has integrated to a university level of language in math, in physics. Okay, it's possible. It's possible. So Syrian refugees in Austria who've been here for 4 years and haven't got a B1 German, in my view, should not be getting money from Austria to support them being here. And we have to start pulling the plug on people who consistently fail their German course, which they're being paid to go on, because there's no consequence of doing so. They can still get all their money to have their basic income, to have a better life than they left, and their family. And we, the world, are allowing them to do that. There needs to be an element of motivation, inspiration. I spend a lot of time virtually in Africa with African people who generally smile a lot. Kids there value education. They want to be. They're crying out for education, and they because it's not available. Education in the West is available, and we don't value it, and we treat it badly. We're rude to teachers. My ex-wife was a teacher. The mother of my son speaks 5 languages fluently, and the mother of my daughter is keen to change the world by seeing us switch to permaculture and the gift economy. Her 2 focus items for the new world are growing food, permaculture, and a gift economy, taking the money out of it, saying, why are we supporting the banks through the crisis of the housing crisis in 2008 rather than the people that have lost their homes?
Right. So
thank you.
So here is our point. Like, as I am working with Carla for last few days, and we are finding people who can help us. If we like make a team of 12 to 20 people, and we train them this communication skills and the virtual assistant training, those so-called, as we say, like, speak English. So if we can do that, and then that 12 people will be going to other sessions, and they will be training. So this is what our program is like, is $100 assistant program, virtual assistant program. So every single day we will be working on it, and we are still looking for people. And he has just generated a group, as Rehan. Did he told you that he generated a group, is a $100 assistant program, and in just 4 days we have got more than 6,000 people they want to join, and they want to get the training.
So have they paid the $100 each?
So what we will train them the basic knowledge. First of all, we have to improve their English, and the second thing, we have to give them the idea like where they will be working. So they will be sitting in Pakistan or Middle Eastern areas, and they will be working definitely in North America or North America side. So they have to have a kind of idea as well. and the idea, and they have to learn this accent and the things that they can understand it. So this is what our plan is. And then he's going to create a website where he will look people in North America, in Europe, that they are looking for assistant. So they will provide their assistant, and they will be only paying $100. The $100 assistant, they will not be that sharp. They will not be, definitely the guy who is looking for paying for $100, he will definitely be not looking for that sharp people who they can do the entry level work, data entry thing. They can create his email, or they can manage his email or Google Docs and this kind of stuff. But the matter of the fact is that we have to give them training, and the main time they can improve their skills as well. So this is what our plan is.
Is it a job for you, or are you volunteering?
I am volunteering.
You can afford to volunteer because you have another job, or?
Yes, I do have other job, but I want to spend like 1 or 2 hours with them.
Great. Per
Yeah.
day, per week, per hour?
Per day.
Per day.
Yes. As I am already working with Carla, and we are looking people, assistant people, for a few, I'll say like 1 week.
I am very, very keen to support you.
Definitely. Thank you so much. And
Can I see your LinkedIn profile? Have you?
Sure. Let me just send it. Jawad, can you hear me, sir? Jawad.
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Can
You hear me?
carry on with Nigel, and then I will be. Let me send him the link.
Sorry?
Can you just talk with the Nigel?
Yes, sure.
Javad, you were talking about GTM, yeah? Grammar Translation Method?
Yes.
You've been teaching for 11 years?
Yes, I'm teaching from 11 years, but English has become my subject from 2017 because I've used my teaching experience for developing that course for to help those people who are non-native and want to improve their spoken English.
Where are your grandparents from, please?
My grandparents are from here, from Pakistan.
Where?
From Pakistan, basically.
From which city?
They were from different cities. Like my grandmother, from my father's side, my grandfather and my grandmother has migrated from India because that is a part known as subcontinent at that time.
Pre-47.
And my grandfather and my grandmother from my. Yes, sure. Yes, you're right.
So they
were settled here in Pakistan since that time.
Yeah. So basically, two of your grandparents were Indian.
You can say that, but at that time, but like after Pakistan, they were here. They lived all their life here in Pakistan.
It's very. This is one of my questions that I ask people because I'm very interested in geographically knowing where people feel at home and situated. And did they got partitioned? Did they? And they had to move from India to Pakistan, or they were already in the bit that's now Pakistan?
Yes.
And what you don't have any photos of you, sir? I noticed on LinkedIn and on Facebook and here you don't have a photograph of you.
Yes. Yes, you can find my photograph anywhere on the internet.
Okay.
That might be interesting for you.
Sorry, I can find it. Or I can't.
Because they were not here. I haven't uploaded any of my pictures. Like since I'm online, like I'm using internet from 1999, but I haven't uploaded any of my pictures till that time.
That's fine. But you do have a face.
Yes, I have, but I'm not camera shy basically. But I am like basically having some other point. It is related to a religious approach about pictures of living beings basically.
Okay, no, one of my friends, Russian, I think, told me, Kazakhstani, said you shouldn't take photographs of people asleep or with their eyes shut. No, I understand. I learned a long time ago about the energy that a picture has, and there's a concept that you can steal energy by taking a picture as well. Yeah, is that right?
In some way, but my study is based basically on the religious scripts and on the basis of cognitive science, which is a really real science of cognition, because the images of living beings penetrate the messages in your subconscious mind, and we used to like tell our students that one image is equal to 1000 words. Like the effort you need to do to transfer some information to someone's subconscious mind might take 1000 words for you to explain that thing. You can explain that certain thing in just one image.
Exactly, which is why I'd like to see your image so that I can have the 1,000 words quicker. Yeah, but then,
You are right.
no, it's interesting. I'm interested in cognitive science. I'm interested in religions. Fantastic,
Right.
thank you. Um, you started off teaching not English. You later taught English. You're saying, or you're
Yes,
focused on
yes,
English now.
yes. Most of my courses are in our local language, which is Urdu.
Ah, okay, okay. And what are you teaching there? You're not teaching English in Urdu. You're teaching.
Yes, my field of interest was basically I've started teaching from computer graphics, like graphic designing, like Adobe Photoshop, Corel Draw, Illustrator, InDesign, and all that stuff. And Corel company has nominated me as their official training partner back in 2010.
Which
When
company?
the address, my home address, Corel Draw is an American
Coral Draw.
company.
Okay, Coral Draw. Yeah.
Yes, yes, and like they're almost like competitors of Adobe at that time. Adobe has come after in the market.
So, are you teaching this online now? So, could I ask you to deliver an online training course in that tomorrow?
I used to record my courses because I'm dealing with like almost 50 courses right now. So it is not possible for me to give live lecture, because right
Jawad,
now
do you
while I'm
have
talking
any
to you, I'm
courses on
working on
Udemy?
another course as well.
Fine, thank you.
Sorry?
No, brilliant. So,
Jawad, Mr. Jawad, do you have any courses on Udemy?
Yes, I have courses on Udemy and I have my own LMS as well.
LMS. Okay, are you on the YouTube as well?
Not much. I have channel there, but I'm not active. I'm not really active on YouTube.
Okay, Nigel, I just sent you the friend request on Facebook, and later on I will send you the LinkedIn link, because I'm not able to send it right now. I don't know why. Can you hear me, Nigel?
yes, sorry, I'm just looking for you. Yes,
I just said, like, I just send you the friend request on Facebook,
I see
and
that.
later on I will send you the LinkedIn profile. I'm not able
Okay.
to send it right now. I don't know why.
Um,
So, are you excited to join us for this virtual assistant training program?
are you sorry? Are you the dealer inspector at U-Haul International?
Yeah, I used to work on you all.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have you on. I'm sending you a request on LinkedIn. Okay.
sure.
What was your question? Sorry.
Are you excited, as you have spoke to Rehan and Carla? So, are you joining us from tomorrow to the different people, as we are going to speak English and giving them the training, virtual assistant training?
I am incredibly excited.
Great.
What would you like me to do?
Uh,
How can I serve? How can I support you?
Definitely. Everything we have a class in Pakistan in here is 3 o'clock. So how different is time with you guys? With you,
So,
what
what
time
time
is
is
right now over there?
it? The time now is 6:03.
6:03. Here is 12. So we are 6 hours behind you. So
It's 12 midday. Yeah.
yeah, no, it's midnight, 12 midnight.
So
And what
you're 6 hours
in
behind.
early morning to you?
Yeah, it's morning here.
Yes. So we are 6 hours behind you. So if we say, like, we will start a class tomorrow 3 o'clock, so you will
9
have
o'clock.
time 9 p.m.
9 a.m.
No, 9 p.m.
Okay, 9 p.m. 9 p.m. is not good for me because generally I'm asleep.
Okay. Okay. So you know what? We will just collaborate with Carla and Rehan. So we'll finalize the time. We can just go up and down
Yeah, I
with it.
can join. I can join part of it. Great. And so you
Sure.
have 12 people for that session today, do you?
No, we don't have 12 people today. We had actually more people than 12, but we just invited 6 people. So
What
as we
language?
are just starting, like we get the interview of them so they can understand it, like they have the educational background and they are willing to do it. And if we can train them, so we have to see the people like they can train other people as well. So we are just sorting out these people.
Okay, fantastic. One of the things I'm offering is CV review. It's job coaching.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very interested to scan some CVs and help with sifting people and making suggestions on who they might be able to do virtual assistant for, and etc. And I'm also interested in learning plans that everyone should have a learning plan,
Great.
and
Great.
everyone should have a learning mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone should have a career plan and a
Right.
career mentor. So I'm working to build a program that offers everyone a learning mentor to help develop their learning plan and motivate them to follow it,
Great.
and provide the training courses across everything, working with existing stuff and creating new stuff as and when required, which won't be very much because there's no point unless
That
people.
sounds amazing. You know what? We can start this from our class as well. We can ask them to send their resumes, and we can check them out, and we can see what potential they have, what they want, what they
Exactly.
can do,
Yeah.
and we can recommend them. And
Yes.
on that basis, we can take them to the further trainings.
Yes, so I'm interested in training you and your people to review their own and other people's CVs, because part of
Right.
what we have to do is we have to be in. I mean, it's like happiness.
Mhm.
Who's in charge of your happiness, Soros?
Yes,
Who's in charge of your happiness?
I am the in charge. I have to feel like what I want to do.
Who's in charge of your career?
I am.
Yes. Who's in charge of your life?
I am.
Exactly. That's what people need to understand, and a lot of people don't. They say, I can't do something because the government makes me do this, or because my parents make me do that. We need to take ownership and responsibility of our lives, and then we'll be happier.
Definitely. Definitely. I think Jawad just lost. Okay, so Nigel, tomorrow we will having a meeting, and I will just update you with the timing, and
Mhm.
I will talk with the Rehan and Carla, and we'll set up the time, and then we will again communicate.
I would like to introduce you to a friend of mine in New York,
Okay, yeah, sure.
who, in fact, I can introduce the other one as well. So I can bring some people in. Yesterday, I had a lunchtime chat with. Are you familiar with the Impact Hub?
Impact Hub, where is that?
It's they've got 85 locations around the world in different places. There's probably one in New York.
I'm not sure.
They had a lunchtime chat session in a group like this. There were 6 of us. Three
Okay.
of them I knew,
All right.
and 2 of them I didn't know.
Okay.
So one of my passions is connecting fast and deep with people.
Okay.
One of my strengths is that.
Great.
One of my weaknesses is following through on that. So I tend to meet people and pass them on to other people.
Right.
But having said that, I'm actually a trained professional salesperson. I worked for IBM for 11 years in sales. I was never the greatest salesperson. However, I did view myself as a relationship manager. So I actually still have relationships with my customers from those days. So I don't just pass people on and lose them. I actually keep in touch with them. So I know a lot of people. I want to support a lot of people. I want to serve as a universal servant.
Excellent. Phenomenal.
My friend, whose name has just slipped, moved from here recently. He teaches something. He works with Brain. Do you know Brain a Brain?
What is that?
It's an abacus-based training system for kids.
Oh, okay.
It's very big in India. I think it started in India.
Okay. I think I have heard about it.
Yeah. Kirill. Okay. His wife got relocated to New York. He's there now. I'm not sure what he's doing, but he's a very good friend.
Sure.
Cool. Lovely. Thank you so much.
Well, that was an excellent discussion with you, and it was first time, but I haven't seen that. Like, it's our first conversation, and you are such an amazing and impressive personality. Thank you so much for your time, and we will be staying in touch definitely. For this time, I have to sleep also, and you have to do your work.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again, and
you.
I really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
And in the last, would you just say a few words after this post covered thing?
Sorry?
Just to motivate people, like as people are listening us. What should people do? Stay at home? What few words?
Okay, I just put this posting up, and I'm happy to share it here. And the last words on it says, people are the world's most important asset. Yeah. I asked my accounting professor why they don't appear on the balance sheet, and they should. And he said in the past, they appeared on the balance sheet as slaves. And this is the problem. A lot of people at the moment are wage slaves to industry, and they can be dumped. And we've suffering at the moment potentially drastic consequences. I mean, but the thing is, for every situation, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So what we see now as a drastic situation can become positive, equally positive. I looked up drastic, and it says drastic is likely to have a strong or far-reaching effect, radical and extreme. I believe we will come out of this stronger and with a new world, and I'm very optimistic.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me just.
Thank you.